Welcome back to another episode of Voices from the Field. Today is a little bit different of an episode that we're used to. We were able to sit down with some of our ambassadors from our Extra Impact Ambassador program, being able to sit down with them and talk to them about their playing careers so far, how they got into softball, what it means to them. And we also got to interview some of their parents as well and ask them some questions about being a parent in softball and the travel softball world and all that stuff. It was really, really fun to get to know them a little bit more. I know me and Carrie have talked about our ambassador program a couple times on here, but it's just a really great way to empower, inspire, and support the softball community. We're really a big family here at Extra Innings Softball and this Extra Impact Ambassador program. So I love being able to sit down with them. They are great representations of not only Extra Innings Softball and our initiative, but really just as softball players in general and people in general. They're amazing humans. They really work hard and they just embody what it means to empower, inspire, and support. So we feel so lucky that we're able to have them on as our ambassadors. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. A little bit different of a format. We kind of had to split up the recordings because, as everyone listening probably knows, it's really hard to get the same time together for, multiple different people with all of our crazy schedules and softball and school and practice and all that fun stuff. So a little bit different of a recording today, but we'll be back to our normal episodes next week. But for the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you learned something from it. And yeah, just enjoy the episode. Welcome back to another episode of Voices from the Field. Today, we have some really special ambassadors that we are so excited to talk to, and one of them is Harper Zavoy. So Harper, I want to go ahead and just give it over to you. Tell me about yourself, where you're from, what team you play for, position you play, how old you are, all that fun stuff.
My name's Harper Zavoy. I live in Martinez, California. I play for LTG Elements. I play shortstop, second, outfield, and pitcher. I am 10 years old. And
that's awesome. I love it. You play everywhere. I love it. That's amazing. That's something that a lot of coaches love to have on their team of people that can play everywhere. Which one's your favorite? What position's your favorite? Shortstop. There you go. Awesome. Well, Harper, I'm going to go ahead and just ask you a quick question. I'm very excited to hear kind of what your thoughts are. So I want you to tell me, what's your biggest dream in softball and why does the dream matter? Why do you want, that particular dream? What's your goals at the end of this when you're playing softball?
My dream is to play in college and be able to go to Olympics.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That's great to have huge dreams, kiddo.
It's fun to be able to do that and be on TV and stuff so that you can show people and people can look up to you.
Yeah. What team do you like to watch play college? Do you watch some college softball?
Yeah.
Who do you like to watch? Who's your favorite team?
Stanford or Cal Bears.
Oh, okay.
All right. Those are good academic schools too. So you'll have a very successful career after that. So that's fantastic. Well, I would like to ask one question of Mama real quick. What's the one thing that you've seen your daughter overcome through softball and help her succeed?
One thing I think that she's overcome is her confidence. I know that she struggled a lot with hitting and stuff. I know that's the hardest thing for her. And I just seen her put so much work in, the mental part of it and just coming out better in that aspect.
That's fantastic. And I guess I'll throw on that is how do you balance as a mother of a 10-year-old? Because they are 10. They were in their arms and in a crib not too long ago. So how do you balance wanting her to succeed, but also allowing her to kind of find her own course or her own pathway to success as a mother?
Well, as a mom, I try and I know this is probably not something that most parents do, but I take a step back. This is something that she wants, and I try not to get in the way. I try and encourage her the best I can, but I'm not hard on her when she has bad days. I just want her to be the best version of herself every time she steps on the field or even off the field. So yeah, I'm just there to scream and shout for her and just leave it all on the field.
I think I'm going to ask you to say that just a little bit louder for all the parents in the back so they can hear exactly what you're saying, because that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
Amazing. Well, Harper, I have one more question for you and then I'll let you go. So just tell me what your favorite part of the ambassador program is. What's the best thing that you've done and what do you really like to do that maybe someone watching that's interested in the ambassador program would want to hear?
I really like to do make videos and ask people questions and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the ambassador because it's fun to meet new people and know what they play and stuff.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. You're really good at the videos too. You're always one that I'm always I know Harper's going to give me something good. So I can attest to that for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I
Yes.
think that's awesome. And as a mother of Harper, obviously, I know you're proud to. Is there anything else that you would like? Because one of the things that we are doing at Extra Innings Softball is creating a parent hub that we're pretty excited about, because we want parents to be able to have a place to go to ask different questions of each other, to be able to share the good things and the bad things, the do's and the don'ts, and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that for parents of young kids getting started in the sport?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just seen so many kids at this age struggle mentally with the game and just not being able to fail. And I think it's important that we have a space where we can ask the questions: how do we help the kids when they do fail, they have an error, or they're just not batting great? Like, what can we do to help as a community? Because I see so many kids struggling in that area.
Well, I think that's fantastic. And one of the things we're super excited is I think our podcast has several different things that we're doing with the mental aspect of it, because it is definitely something you have to practice. We're not, as a society, not used to failing more than we succeed and call ourselves a success. And that is our sport, which I think is really cool. So Harper, if you lean into mom, I have a feeling she's going to give you all the tools that you need to be successful in life. And that's really all we care about anyways.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on, Harper.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Welcome back to another episode of Voices from the Field. We have some special ambassadors on our call today, and one of them is Palmer Miner. So thank you, Palmer, and Palmer's dad is on as well. So thank you guys both for being on today. And Palmer, just give me a little bit about who you are, where you're from, position you play, travel ball team, all the fun stuff.
Okay, so hi, I'm Palmer. I live in Oklahoma. I play for Oklahoma Premier Fast Pitch Futures. I am 12 years old. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm a catcher.
Catcher. Love it.
Right.
Love
Awesome.
it. Love it. Well, Palmer, I just want to ask you a quick question kind of about softball and what it really means to you. So what does softball mean to you, and how has it made you more confident both on the field and also just in your regular life?
So softball is a space that I can connect to with many different people. And softball is where I gained many of my lifelong friends.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
That's amazing.
So I'd like to ask you as her father, first of all, what is your name? I'm sorry.
My name's Jim Miner.
All right, Mr. Jim. So tell me what you feel like you've learned about who your daughter is as a person through the sport of softball. Like, what have you seen come out of your daughter that maybe you didn't know prior to her playing?
Well, she is. I know people say this all the time, but she's very clutch. There's been several times that she's done things that I'm like, how did you do that? And I mean, it's like it just comes natural, and it's amazing to put young kids in those situations and just kind of see how they react, and you get surprised all the time. So
Absolutely. Well, that bodes well for life skills later on down the road. And then I guess I'd like to kind of double off of that too as a parent, because one of the things we're doing at Extra Innings Softball is creating a parent hub, a place that parents who are just starting or parents who have been through it can kind of go and ask questions or learn things from each other, and a kind of a forum just to be able to exchange ideas and question, because we're only as strong as what we learn. What's it like for you, or how have you handled tough games as a parent from the sideline? Like, how do you handle that as a parent, but then how do you handle that in the post game with your daughter?
So I'll say this: I coach in Oklahoma as well at Broken Arrow High School. We're always competitive and competing in the 6A level here, which is our largest class for the state championship. So I prefer tough games like that. I think you learn a lot from it. I would much rather be in that tough situation. So I just see it as kind of natural, honestly. And enjoy that and look forward to that every day. So I would prefer her to face everything like that. So
Right.
you learn more from that.
This is how small a world it is. So my second year as a head coach at Arkansas, I recruited Sherry Warman from Broken Arrow High School and Jennifer Bottoms from Broken Arrow High School.
Okay.
So I'm very aware of Broken Arrow, and you all are very competitive and very good. So anyways.
That's awesome. Well, Palmer, I have one more question for you, just about the ambassador program. What has been your favorite part of being an ambassador, and what would you want to tell somebody who's maybe looking into it on kind of things they should expect and look for and be excited about?
So my favorite thing is making all the content. You never know what you're gonna do. That the ad thing, that kind of shocked me, but it was so fun to make it.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
would
so
definitely-
I got a follow-up question for you, Palmer, because I just sit here and think about it, and I think it'd be really cool. When you sit there and you hear your dad, who's a coach, but also your dad, say the one thing that he's learned about you through softball is that you're clutch. What does that mean? How does that feel? What do you think?
It makes me feel good. He knows that like I can come up with like big time moments also, and like so does my coaches and all my teammates.
That's
Like
cool.
they know I'm a great catcher and a good hitter, and they believe in me whenever like it's big moments because I have came up with a bunch of big hits.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm like happy that my coaches and my parents and everyone believed in me. So
That's really cool.
That's so
That's
important.
exciting.
Yeah, having people surrounding you that you know are confident in you, I feel like that makes all the difference in the world, knowing that they have your back, even when maybe you don't feel as confident. So I love that. Well, thank you, Palmer and Jim, for getting on today. Have a great night.
Thank y'all.
Bye. Today, we have a really special ambassador on our call. It's Kennedy Keel. She is one of our amazing ambassadors for this year, and we're really excited to hear from her and her dad about softball and her journey and kind of just what's made her, who she is today. So, Kennedy, thank you for being here, and just kind of tell me a little about yourself, where you're from, what position you play, all that good stuff.
My name's Kennedy Keel. I'm from Georgetown, Texas, and I play on the 12U United Blaze. My coach is Felicia Harrington, and I go to Benoit in Georgetown.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. So I just want to ask you about softball and what does it mean to you? What does softball mean to you when you get to go out there and lace up your cleats and put on your helmet? What does that mean to you? And then how has it made you more confident as a person?
So, softball means a lot to me since I've been playing since like 4 or 5. So it's kind of been like something, and I like work really hard for it, and then so it like means like because I put in all this hard work and stuff. So then I like really like get to show everything and show off my skills.
Absolutely. I love that. I feel like definitely working at a sport, especially softball, which is really hard and you fail a lot more times than you succeed, you really learn like what it means to work hard and being able to be confident in your work and what you put in, to be able to go out on the field and play free because you know that you've done all you can. So I love that. So Mr. Keel, I want to ask you a question about Kennedy and kind of what her softball journey has meant to you, and kind of tell me like what lessons do you hope that she's able to carry from this game into her life that will end up lasting a lifetime?
Yeah, great question. So I think just in general, sports teach a lot of life lessons. So I really enjoy Kennedy being able to work with the team to learn how to set goals, as many athletes do, learning how to overcome adversity, and being able to, kind of put her best foot forward. But I think one of the biggest lessons is probably the grit, because oftentimes, as you guys probably know, grit is not something that you can be handed or given. It's more something that you have to earn. And I think that lesson in particular over time really fares well in life, whether it be something you're doing in your job or just something that's happening kind of in your personal life. But I'd say the grit is a big piece that I look forward to seeing her grow from and really become stronger and stronger at.
Yeah. Did you play college sports too?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay.
I played at Texas State University. So I first came out of high school and I had hurt my shoulder, so I had some rehab to do. And so I played at McLennan Community College, a junior college in Waco, Texas. And then I transferred and played at Texas State University.
So kind of tell me how is it coaching Kennedy, being a college athlete? Because I know I hear so many people talk about, I know Carrie talks about it a ton, like usually the college athletes are the more chill parents when it comes to sports because kind of what goes into it and what that your child needs at the moment in time whenever they need it. So kind of walk me through what it's like to coach your daughter now, having played at such a high level, especially a similar sport.
Yeah, I'd say it really is a joy to be able to not only coach, but just to be a part of the atmosphere. I think it's a lot of that window time that I'm sure a lot of parents talk about that you get to spend with your kids. And so traveling to and from tournaments, to me is just as much a part of the experience as it is being in practices, being on the field and that sort of thing. So just having the opportunity, and I have three daughters. Kennedy's my
Oh,
oldest, but then I
wow.
have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. So in some way or another, both my wife and I kind of have a hand in
Yeah.
being able to support them, to coach them. And my wife also played college softball as well. So it's pretty cool to be able to, share some of our experiences with all three of our daughters, but to watch Kennedy kind of being the first one. Certainly, we've learned plenty of lessons along the way, but I'd say that she's a pretty quick study. So she picks up on some of those lessons pretty fast. So it's just overall a joy to kind of be able to support and coach
Yeah.
Kennedy.
I love that. Okay, some more. I know I told y'all to only ask you one, but now I have a question for Kennedy. Now learning all about that, Kennedy, what is it like for you to have both parents that did play college sports? Again, softball and baseball, which is like pretty close to what you're doing now. So, like, tell me kind of what is it like to have both parents, walking you through this process, and how do you feel like it's helped you guys, become closer?
So having like two parents coming from who already like played college, they kind of already know like what you're going through. So if you have like a couple of bad at bats and they know like how to like make you feel better or know that like just give you a confidence boost and like instead of like getting all up on you, they just know. So they're a little bit like easier on you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always what you hear. They know what it's like, right? It's really easy when you know that they know exactly what it's like to go through some hard times too. So I love that. Okay, so last question, I promise, and I'll let you guys go. Kennedy, I want you to talk about the ambassador program. What's your favorite thing that you've done so far? And what would you tell somebody that may, be like, "Hey, Kennedy, I'm really thinking about doing the ambassador program. Like, why should I do it?"
So one of my favorite things we've done is when we like got to for my team, we all said who like inspired us, and like we all kind of got to know something new about each other and like who was our inspiration, and we also like just kind of got to like collaborate and share with each other. And
Yeah.
then if someone was wanting to like come to the extra innings, I would say like you should definitely do it because there's like a lot of like pluses you could get from it. Like you get to like be with other people and talk with other people from other states, and you get to like learn a lot of things at a young age.
Love it. That's awesome. And you do a great job with all of those things. So I'm very glad that you're an ambassador with us. But thank you so much, Kennedy and Mr. Keel, for hopping on. I love getting to talk to you guys. And I know that our audience is going to love hearing from you guys. So I really appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Voices from the Field. And today we have some amazing ambassadors on our podcast with us, being able to hear from them and their dads about softball, their journey, and everything along the way. So we have Lainey Tucker and Logan McCracken here and their fathers. And so we're really excited to dive in, asking a few questions about softball and their journey. So I'm going to start with Lainey. Lainey, just tell me about yourself, where you're from, what position you play, travel softball organization, all the things.
Hi, my name's Lainey Tucker, and I'm from North Carolina. I play for Team NC Taylor, and I'm a middle infielder and outfielder.
Awesome. Love the utility player right there. So, Lainey, I'm going to ask you this question. I love asking your age players questions like this because we were just talking about the Liberty Texas A&M game, talking about softball and watching it on TV. Who is one person that you look up to in the softball world, and why do you look up to them?
I look up to Erin Koffel because she's always been such a great role model and always a great person. Even like after good games or bad games, she's always been the same, always willing to talk to me and always being so nice.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, she's a stud too, so that really helps, doesn't it? That's awesome. So, Mr. Tucker, I want to ask you, kind of going off of that, kind of hearing what Lainey has to say about someone that she looks up to. It wasn't really about how good she was, it was about, who she is as a person. And so what do you think is the biggest life skill that you feel like Lainey's able to take with her and will be able to continue to take with her from the game of softball that you think is really impacting her life?
Yeah, so our team has grown, or Lainey's team has grown from a fairly regional team, a lot of kids from the same, within half hour of each other. And now it's stretched out and there are kids from all over. So to me, the biggest thing is they're taking kids from all parts of North Carolina and throwing them together on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday and saying, go do the game at the highest level that you can. So being able to mesh with somebody that you see 3 or 4 hours out of practice on a weekend, and then on tournament weekends, being able to mesh with them, learn how to get along, even if you might not like the person that much, still get along to achieve a common goal. Professional life, you're going to work with people you really like and people you don't like. So being able to learn that at 12, 13 years old is going to go a long way in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Because I feel like, too, the softball world is so small, and you don't realize it's so small until you get out of softball. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I know this person and this person. I know this person knows this person. So it's all that connection building, and you really can't get away from it. So it is definitely how you treat people on and off the field that really does matter. So I love that. Logan, so I have some questions for you. We have Logan McCracken on as well. Logan, introduce yourself, kind of like Lainey did, and I'll go in and ask some questions.
Well, I'm Logan McCracken. I live in Houston, Texas. I play for Strikers Malta, and I'm an outfielder.
Love it. Love it. I just want to know, what is your dream softball moment? Like, when you think about maybe playing in college or playing in high school, what is like a dream moment that you have for yourself that you really hope to accomplish one day?
Well, like, my ideal dream moment would probably be like when you're in like that situation when like you can be the one who can hit and like walk it off.
Yeah.
Because like that would just give you like such a good feeling, and like you would really be the hero.
Yeah, being clutch, it is the best, isn't it? Especially watching right now in postseason.
Yeah.
See all those people come through. And what I think is really cool too is the ones that come through sometimes are not the ones that have really, maybe not come through towards the beginning of the year, that just kind of fire up at the end. So that's always a really fun moment to watch.
Yeah.
So Dad, Mr. McCracken, I want to ask you, when was the moment that you realized that Logan really loved this sport and was something that you felt like she really needed to pursue to the extent that she is today?
Yeah, exactly. Big moment, Logan. Probably when she stopped asking about going to dance class at a young age. And next thing you know, she's like, Dad, I want to get this Easton Ghost Bat or these Bruce bolts, which as us parents, we know that's the beginning of a poverty starter kit for us. Yeah. When, the leotards turn into custom bags and all these things you got to get to go play softball on the weekends. I mean, now it's like you guys all have like custom snack kits and stuff. That's new this year. That's totally new this year. That we didn't have previous years is like these snack kits. So she loves softball, and Mom and I, we pretty much just stay out of her way. And if she needs something, we just do it. But I mean, it's just pure in her heart. She loves the sport of softball. I didn't know much about it growing up. I played basketball and baseball and football growing up, and she's introduced the sport to me, and I love it. It's so much fun watching the sport on the weekends. I think America loves the sport. I know when it's on ESPN, everyone I know is watching it. Yeah. And I think these girls are going to get the benefit from that. They're going to grow up in a sport that is a growing sport, and more people are going to know about. Yes. You guys might end up being the Caitlin Clarks of girls softball as time goes on, and everyone will know who you are, because it's such an exciting, fun sport to watch, and it always makes for a fun weekend.
Yes. Oh, those memories. I remember me and my dad, all the memories we have on the road together. So I kind of am I know I told you I'll just ask one question, but now that I'm listening to you guys talk, I really want to hear one more from you guys, especially because both dads are on here. And I know there are some amazing mothers that are their coaches, but most of the time tends to be the father that's, coaching the kids, taking them to lessons, doing all that stuff, throwing front toss, catching the bullpen. I know that was not my experience, and I'm getting the feeling that that's y'all's experience as well. So I want to ask both dads and Lainey and Logan. So Lainey, you can go first. How do you handle failure when you maybe you don't, come in clutch in a moment you wish you would have, or maybe you're not having a good game? How do you handle it yourself? And then I want to hear Dad. I want to hear kind of what do you tell her? How do you handle her failure and keep her positive while also maybe, being tough on her at times when she needs it?
I just always think about like next play, like just shake it off and like not worrying about it too much, and like owning my mistakes and just moving on.
Love it. I love that.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of trusting the process and not really worried about the results, because you can barrel 5 balls in a ball game and every one of them is a line drive to the center fielder. Was your swing right and everything worked? Yep. It just went right at somebody. So you can't always get caught up in the result of the play. it's the process of what it takes to get you to that point. So
Absolutely.
that's the biggest thing. And, and I'll get soft and say that it's love to watch her play every time. You can't, I try not to get caught up in, home runs or strikeouts or
Right.
drop fly ball or, ground balls missed, just enjoy watching her play every second. We can do that on the ride home. And then the next day when we come back in the shop and start hitting or start taking ground balls, we can get a little bit, tough if we need to. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's for her, we've tried to preach, the process, not the results. Let the process be the process and the results will come.
Absolutely. That's huge. That's huge. I love that. All right, Logan, what you got?
Well, I kind of agree with what Lainey says. Like, I just think, like, everybody makes mistakes and, like, they happen, but now I know what to do different for next time, like, how I can make the adjustment and, like, what I can do different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I grew up in Kansas City, and one of my favorite athletes growing up was Bo Jackson.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
a Kansas City Royal and an Oakland Raider. And what I remember in all the sports for a guy that was that good was that the two hardest things to do in sports is to hit a baseball or hit a softball. And we just instilled in her that, you're here in Houston, which is a very, very tough market that churns out D1 athletes with girls throwing jet fuel at you. And just as long as you trust your mechanics and you do what you do, we understand that it's a very difficult thing that you're trying to do in this market. And if it works out for you, it makes for a great moment for everybody. If it doesn't, you just go back to the lab and we keep working on it until it does, until you have that moment. But we look at it as, softball's a hard sport for hard people. And the grinders are going to win, and we just go back and we work on it, and we know that when that special moment comes, it's a lot of work that got there, but we're up for the challenge. We're not going to walk away from it.
Absolutely. Yes. I love that y'all all mentioned that process aspect to it. That's going to take them a long way, because I know that was something I didn't learn until, maybe like late high school, early college. So the fact that y'all are already starting off with that is amazing, and that'll definitely take them a long way. So I loved hearing that answer. That was great. So I have one more for you guys, for Lainey and Logan, just about the ambassador program. I just want to hear from you guys, like, what's your favorite thing that you've done so far in the ambassador program, and what would you tell somebody maybe that's looking into it and wants to apply in the fall? Like, what would you tell them, what to expect or something fun about it?
I would tell them to expect, like, making fun videos with your teammates and get into, like, talk and meet new people, and it's a lot of fun.
Love it.
Like, my favorite thing that we probably have done so far was that call with Leah Amico.
Yeah.
I love that call, and then I got her book after too because I wanted to read
awesome.
it.
Yes.
And then I would tell someone to expect, like how Lainey said, like getting to make fun videos, but also like learning lessons about like other softball things, and like meeting new people, and also getting to like share, like your team gets to experience it too, because you do a lot of the things with your team whenever you like film your videos and turn in your assignments.
Yeah. Love it. Leah Mika was my favorite call too. She was amazing. So I second that for sure. And y'all do a great job with videos. Y'all always are sending in the best ones. I love it. Well, thank you guys all for hopping on. I love getting to talk to you guys. And I love what you guys are doing, both Mr. and Mr. McCracken and Mr. Tucker, and also Lainey and Logan. Y'all are all doing great things with the sport of softball, and just very thankful to have you guys as an ambassador. So thank you guys again, and we'll be talking soon.
Thank
you. Thanks
you.
a lot. We enjoyed it.
Thank you. Welcome back to another episode of Voices from the Field. Today we have a very special ambassador on our call and her dad. So I want to welcome Brooklyn Coons on the call and Mr. Josh Coons. And Brooklyn, I just want to go ahead and just give the floor to you. Tell me about yourself, where you're from, what team you play for, what position you play, all the things.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Coons. I'm from Hobart, Indiana, and I play for Sox Fast Pitch. I'm a catcher and a third baseman.
Awesome. And then what's your grad year? Remind me.
A 2032.
2032. So what is that, 5th grade, 4th grade?
fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Well, I guess you're about to be in sixth grade, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I just want to ask you a quick question about your softball career and kind of what you hope it looks like in the future. So tell me what your biggest dream in softball is and why that dream matters to you.
I really want to play for Purdue. I want to
Okay.
be on TV and play in state or in the Big Ten.
That is awesome. Is Purdue close to home?
About like an hour and a half.
Oh, that's perfect. That is awesome. I love that. Well, I hope one day we'll watch this back and gosh, I don't know, 8 years. I can't do the math. And I hope you're committed to Purdue. So that is awesome, Brooklyn. And so, Mr. Coons, I want to ask you a question as well. You coach Brooklyn as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Awesome. So I kind of want to ask you, like, what is your favorite thing about being a softball parent and then also being a softball coach to your daughter?
Being a softball coach, I played baseball all through high school and then into college. And so I very much am passionate about the game and learning softball over the last 10 years or so has been a lot of fun, and getting to do that with the people that you love the most. I mean, you can't imagine how great that is. That's the best thing about being a coach, is just kind of learning and growing along with Brooklyn and my older daughter, Alexis, and now my youngest one, Kaylee, has been so much fun. But the best part about it as a parent is just watching them learn things through the lens of the game. So like learning to deal with failure and knowing how much that's going to help them as they grow, learning that hard work and determination is something that's going to take you a long way in life and not just necessarily on the softball field. So all of the things that they can learn through the game, for me as a softball parent, that's been the most rewarding part.
Yeah, I love that. Well, kind of off of that, Brooklyn, I know I told you I'd only ask you like a few questions, but I'll ask you one more because I'm curious. What is your favorite part about your dad coaching you? Like, what's something that you really love about having your dad there on the field?
I like how he pushes me more than the other coaches. Like I have I have some other coaches, and like when I make a bad mistake, he's like the one to tell me how to fix it, and not just saying like, oh, do better next time. He tells me how to fix it and what I did wrong, and pushes me to do it better next time.
Yeah, that is incredible. I love that. That is awesome. So I have one more question for you guys, and I'll let you guys go. I know y'all got a busy weekend ahead of you. So Brooklyn, just tell me what your favorite part about the ambassador program is. And if there's somebody that's like, say, hey, Brooklyn, I really want to join the ambassador program. Like, what would you tell them about the program itself and what to expect?
I would tell them that it's a lot of fun and that the homework is probably one of my favorite parts. I love making the silly little videos. It's like one of my favorite parts. And I like the meetings because I learn a lot more about softball than I did before. So I'd say it's a really fun experience and to encourage them to do it.
That is awesome. And we're very happy that you're a part of our Extra Impact Ambassadors. So thank you, Brooklyn, and thank you, Mr. Coons, for hopping on today. I loved kind of hearing a little bit about your softball journey, being a coach and being a dad. So I really do appreciate it. And thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing from our ambassadors a little bit and hearing about their journeys and their stories. We love being able to highlight them and talk to them and share them with you guys. So thank you again for watching. Make sure to stay up to date on all of our deadlines and schedules on our website, extrainningsoftball.com. We have new polls for this month, so make sure to go check those out. We're kind of doing a theme about travel summer ball and, different tips with hydration, nutrition, recovery, all that fun stuff is coming up for the month of June as we kick off this summer travel ball season. And if you need to know when our rankings are being released, you can go to our website and go to the schedules tab. That's where all the schedules are at. And just make sure to follow us on all social media accounts, follow us on Spotify, and we will see you guys next week.